escape that you have to press.
Danganronpa.
Oh boy. Here we go. Woo!
You're late, Makoto. We've all been waiting here for you. On God.
I bet you were afraid you would be discovered as you knew where you are.
Listen to me!
Let's not jump to conclusions just yet. Save that for the class trial. On God. Oh shit. There we can all reveal the details of Makoto's crimes because he definitely did it.
I didn't do it. Me and Sayaka both know that all too well. But then, who is the killer?
No. Yeah, they're all looking at you.
The one who murdered Sayaka. Is really one of us?
Is everyone here? Okay then.
We won't have to do a reading for a while.
Please board the
really?
elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom, where all your fates will be decided. I'll meet you all down there. I'll be waiting.
You wanna talk to anybody before we go down?
Nah, let's just get into this. It's action time.
Well then.
Let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
Good idea.
Hey,
Are you scared? No, scared isn't quite right.
Makoto.
You said it before, but it's up to you to uncover the mystery surrounding this case itself. If you don't, you'll never come to this.
I mean, yeah, because they'd be dead.
No, there's like specifics. I need to uncover the truth of Sayaka's death. I didn't need someone else to tell me to do that. In Sayaka's honor, I swear I'll find out who the real killer is. I don't really have a choice though, buddy. As I raise my voice to try and give myself courage, I turn with trembling anticipation toward the elevator. Each step forward, I can hear my heart starting to race faster and faster. Everyone else was already on the elevator when I finally stepped on. The doors closed and the elevator started to move. The steel box descended with heavy clunking sounds towards the school's basement. I wonder if this is how a death row inmate feels when his time finally comes.
Oh!
Rather than that, is it not more like a defendant waiting to receive his judgment?
yet.
Not even fucking close. It's total fucking shit.
Well now.
Okay. Everyone find your assigned seat and sit down.
Yoo-hoo!
Hurry up. We did what he said and found our seat. The seats were arranged in a giant circle. It was set up so that everyone could see everyone else. Which also meant it would be easy for anyone to transfer their attention and any The air seemed to grow heavy as he sat there. And so the curtain on our first page opened. A deadly judgment. A deadly deception. A deadly betrayal. Jesus Christ, Makoto. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. I'm sure this is more eloquent than Japanese. A deadly cross trial.
But like for real?
For real.
Like on God, for real, on God?
Okay, I usually spend this time going over the... Well, first we need to set our skills.
Oh, we got skills?
We got... Increases damage to the opponent when the same is destroyed.
Oh shit, we're actually battling.
Yeah. Increases bullet capacity. I just like to go these for my own self. So Monokuma file number 1. The victim was Sayaka Maizono. The time of death is estimated to be around 1:30 a.m. The body was discovered in Makoto's room in the dormitory. The death took place in the bathroom. The cause of death was a stab wound to the abdomen, and her right wrist appears to have been fractured. Okay. So yeah, we're not missing any clues or anything, so we don't have to worry about that. There are a number of scratching and gouges on the bed and walls in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of that screenshot.
Yeah.
You can see that the scratch mark goes off the...
Man, they did some damage then. Okay, Makoto took this from the gym entryway and put it in his room. The sword was found out of its sheath. Okay, that was phrase weird. On the floor in the middle of the room. The sword handle was missing some of the gold coating, as was part of the blade. Makoto took this from the gym entryway and put it in his room. The sheath was found some distance from the sword itself, and it shows evidence of being scratched with a sharp object. So, on the night of the murder, Makoto and Sayaka traded rooms and room keys. When the victim was discovered, Makoto's room key was also found in Makoto's room. Sayaka had originally asked Makoto to switch with her when someone attempted to force their way into her room, and she became frightened. Like, you know she's pretty when she's able to, like, get a guy to do that? Because it makes no sense to switch rooms. Just stay in your room and watch it.
Yeah, it's almost like there's a plan.
Oh yeah, almost like she had a plan. This had been placed in Makoto's room before he arrived. It remains unopened, and there is no evidence of it having ever been used. All the other meal students claim they haven't used theirs either, but still. Not a single hair was found on the floor at the scene of the crime. In addition, the lint roller shows evidence of being used. Sayaka's right wrist had been fractured, and her wrist was glittery at the injuries location. In addition, her hands appeared to be completely clean except for the index finger on her left hand, which had some blood on it. 11037. A series of numbers have been written in blood on Makoto's bathroom wall. 11037. It is assumed that Sayaka wrote these numbers while leaned up against the wall as she lay dying. Alright, Makoto's bathroom door was difficult to open, due to it not quite fitting in the door frame properly. The only two people who knew the trick to opening it were Makoto, the room's owner, and Sayaka, the victim. Makoto's bathroom doorknob had been broken. The screws holding it in place had all been partially removed, or partially or completely removed. Main keys on the doors to Sayaka and Makoto's rooms were apparently switched at some point. The kitchen and the dining hall had a set of kitchen knives. Apparently one of the knives had gone missing. Okay, the knife from the kitchen went missing while Aoi was in the dining hall. Aoi swears that Makoto did not come to the dining hall at any point while she was there. There is apparently a trash room within the school. It's blocked off by a sturdy gate that can only be opened with the trash room key. The incinerator can be activated via a switch on the machine. Hifumi was on cleaning duty, and he claims that the last time he saw the incinerator, it was off. However, when Makoto checked it after the incident, the incinerator was, in fact, on. The distance from the gate to the incinerator is roughly 30 feet. A piece of burnt clothing was found next to the incinerator in the trash room. It's apparently a part of a shirt pocket, and it has a noticeable blood stain on it. Last one. Shards of glass were found next to the incinerator in the trash room. As it turns out, the glass ball would have fit comfortably in the palm of the person's hand. Now just one more save. Oh, this trial is significantly shorter compared to the others.
Okay.
Alright.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
He has like the best cadence of talking, like I don't know why.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course!
Okay then, everyone close your eyes, and whoever did it, raise your hand!
Okay. Damn, I didn't think of that. Fuck, now I have to raise my hand. Yeah. There, I got it.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah,
What's going on with those pictures?
I might feel awful if they got left out just because they died, friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
Friendship penetrates.
Oh lord, do you wanna...
Damn dog.
Okay, but what about that other empty seat?
Oh, someone's echoing.
That's it.
You don't have to mute yourself, just turn it down, I guess.
No, I was just gonna say, like, the
There were
first case
only
is really
15
great.
of us
It really
to
sets the
begin
tone
with,
for
so
the
why are there
rest of the
16
day.
seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
It's about to begin. The debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, we have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't just about me. Everyone's lives are on the line.
Your first non-stop debate is about to begin. Would you like to hear more?
It's more chaotic than the Master Detective, just to let you know.
As things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, characters will speak one after another without pause. It's up to you to unearth any lies or contradictions buried within their statements. What this means is you'll have to use your truth bullets to refute what they say. Any relevant truth bullets you found during your investigation will be loaded into the truth chamber. Use the mouse to aim and fire with the left mouse button. ... Pay close attention to character statements and use your truth bullets to blast the right ones. Note that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful.
I don't think I've ever run out of time. Like, even when I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
If you press the escape key during the arguments, you will review the controls. You can review the controls. Well then, good luck, and have fun. Get your PCs ready.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Are you sure?
You know that part already. And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
Shoot that shit.
No, it's wrong.
Objection. Break.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
Damn, he had been shot
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
Really?
This is more like a Socratic circle. A really shitty, like, classroom activity I always hated. Okay, we need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka.
Oh shit. Give him your next bullet. Non-stop. Find next action. Alright,
So what was used to kill her?
shoot it.
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon!
So the killer used some random knife they had on him. How could anyone do something like that? That son of a bitch!
Because the object that was thrust into Sayaka's stomach was almost certainly the knife that disappeared from a certain location.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach.
He didn't
Without a
find
doubt,
that random
that
knife.
is the murder weapon!
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
Man, no random
it's
knife.
wrong!
No,
Why I was so nervous.
I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
No.
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
Damn, he's laying around thick now, isn't he?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions
I'm just
after we
getting
presented our
started.
arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
He's right. There's gotta be a breakthrough somewhere this day to find it. It's totally not defined by your Japanese students who can't read English, etc. Because I know damn well I'm not the killer.
There's a bit much to learn about non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? You can concentrate by holding down the space key. Okay. While you're concentrating, time will slow down. You can pay closer attention to what everyone's saying.
It gives you more of a chance to click on something if it's too fast.
On top of that, if you steady your aim, making it easier to target potential weak points, weak spots. Yeah, I was looking on weak point there. Concentrating like this consumes focus gauge, and if that gauge empties, you can't concentrate.
I almost never use it because I forget.
But the focus gauge will recover over time, so let your brain take a rest. No need to rush, except when time runs out. Well then, good luck and have fun.
There we drop it, guys.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right?
Shoot that shit.
You did it
Shoot that shit now.
when nobody was in the dining hall.
No, that's wrong.
Wait.
Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
I can totally picture that playing in like a 70s workout class.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Luna?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier? Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah,
really want us to
that's
be
right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect each other?
Damn, really?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife? Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall. No way! I swear it wasn't me!
How did you have pockets big enough?
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
Oh shit, man. They're starting to turn.
Oh, she can. I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
You can't forget that name.
Right.
Otherwise you cave your face in.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
He's like, I'm not gonna challenge that anymore.
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I was about to say that.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
Damn, someone fucking died.
They're in the dorm.
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room. So, I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
Alright.
Screenshot.
Alright. Oh yeah, hold on.
Let's just screenshot everything this man says.
Damn dog, you really said that. We should have taken the one from he used a knife to kill her. That's definitely the murder weapon. Alright, yeah, I got it.
But I'm a girl.
Okay, get a screenshot.
Done. Okay. I got it.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
Okay, last one.
Yeah, I got it.
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true! One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because they're not here anymore.
Oh.
Someone who's not here? Are you talking about Junko?
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall.
Oh.
And then later, she wound up dead.
Oh. That's a real big deal. You're saving that for so long.
Sayaka? Okay, so the person who took the knife from the kitchen was Sayaka.
Sayaka.
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen.
Go on a mission.
As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
The person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
Oh, you...
What?
See? He did do it after all!
No, you're wrong!
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
Everyone's gonna die. It's never the first person they accuse.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Hair. Oh, fuck.
Your first Hangman's Gambit is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Hey, now hold on. Give me 1 second. Can you spell the word no? Jesus fuck. Alright, go ahead. Oh shit. As things advance further in the trial, the Hangman's Gambit will eventually take place. The point of this is to reveal an important phrase related to the incident in question. You'll have to deduce the phrase with the letters flying around and the letters already known. I hope you have your thesaurus and dictionaries ready, because you're gonna have to spell the word fucking knife.
In this game, Hangman's Gambit is the most straightforward of all the games.
Oh, it's actually Hangman. Okay. Complete the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order.
Yep.
Can
it's
you
like
spell
it's like the barrel game.
Except harder.
That's why no one likes the barrel game.
Use the knife to aim. Use the mouse to aim, and the left mouse button to shoot the desired letter.
Say knife.
Yeah. Nah, I said mouse afterwards. Or did I say the left knife button? I said the left knife button. Okay. If you shoot down the wrong letters, you'll suffer damage to your influence gauge. If that gauge reaches 0, or if you run out of time, you will fail. Well then, good luck, and have fun.
Something I should have been at the scene, but wasn't. That must be a crucial punch.
You sure about that?
Figure out what that something is.
Hangman's Gambit. Summon your cheap cobra. Pew pew.
Now I understand.
Complete.
That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No.
No.
If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Then that means...
Precisely.
And that
It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
Yes.
No.
Yes, actually.
There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene?
Yeah, she would punch him.
Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
The door doesn't have a lock. Oh, I have it.
The killer struggled to getting into the bathroom, and the evidence that proves it is not just the killer broke.
Oh shit, you're running out of time. You gotta hurry. You have...
I got it! Evidence that the killer
You know,
had
I
trouble
thought he was
getting
saying
into the
a
bathroom.
gun.
You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh
For
yeah,
real,
true.
for God.
What does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Yeah, you big doo-doo head.
Yoko said it was a bewildering act. I must have noticed it at first, but is that the key point here?
There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? From here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. But no matter how many weak spots, there's essentially only one lie or contradiction in the debate. What I'm trying to say is not all weak spots are necessarily false. Use a truth bullet on the wrong one, and not only will you fail to refute what they say, but you'll also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will take damage. Now, this is important because if you're yeah, are you sure? He's already said it, I'm not going to say it again. You'll have to rely on your own logic to... You're going to have to rely on your own to determine which weak points are actually lies or contradiction. Good luck, have fun. Me and my homies went... Oh shit, not the bathroom frame door. Oh god.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
Ah, there it is. Shoot it before it's late.
The culprit had Sayaka cornered.
You're supposed to shoot the Sayaka.
Finish the job. They stabbed her with the kitchen knife.
It was you, wasn't it, Makoto? Admit it. We already know
we're
the
running
answer.
out of time. We only have 9 minutes.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
It's going too fast.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door, because Sayaka had locked it.
And finally, the culprit had
shit, did you
Sayaka
miss it?
cornered.
Yeah, no, I
To
actually did.
finish the job, they stabbed her with the kitchen knife.
It was you,
Oh, God,
wasn't
I
it,
had to
Makoto?
wait.
Admit it. We already
I gotta
know
wait a
the
whole
answer.
week.
There's a way to test
The incident took place in Makoto's room.
I think
Sayaka
they
was first
the words
attacked in the main
manifest in the
room.
same spot. So
She then fled into the
they're doing
bathroom.
for that.
But this thing like moves on
Then the
its own.
killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer
Okay,
had
we're
to
gonna
try
get
and
another
bust down the
rotation.
door,
Warren, get this thing.
because Sayaka had locked it. No, that's wrong.
Objection! A break. A
The
gun.
reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Look at that slight smile on his face.
Yes,
I see it.
now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't the bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door... That's not lucky at all!
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck.
Yoko's just like, alright, moving on.
Yeah.
But the killer
Very
didn't know
sure.
that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
The killer was convinced the bathroom door was locked, so they didn't know that the door actually couldn't be locked. In other words, the important detail about the scene of the crime that they didn't know was the crime took place in my room. Oh no, we're running out of time.
Wait, hurry, I'm towards.
Oh no, which one is it? I don't know.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable!
Alright, we need to take a screenshot for Princess Bride reference.
Yeah, we need to put that on the list of movies to watch.
Oh yes, that's a great movie.
Got it.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Nani?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
There would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through!
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door open.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms? Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
That's what I've been trying to tell you, bitch.
Okay, then who did do it?
Well, that's the point of this whole thing.
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
Hey, okay, hold on, I need to take that.
Yeah.
Some of these people are so stupid.
I know.
Well,
Well, luckily, things change for them.
This is the purpose of the trial. Find out who.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Then you all die.
Why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
Whoa, Tom, chill. That's not how that works.
Majority rules? Do you really think that's a good idea?
That's like the worst idea.
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Like, for real. Like,
Does no
honestly,
one
like,
have
for
any
real?
other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh! As a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Oh, you...
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then... maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place.
Jesus Christ. I feel like that's screenshot way.
Nah.
Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
So she asked me to do something in particular because of how frightened she was. That's the answer right there. But no one decided I could let somebody in because...
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
Okay, yeah. You don't have to read. I refuse to read flashbacks.
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Oh...
Huh?
I don't want to.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
Are you gonna look at me and tell me that I'm wrong?
Oh, hey, what?
One of the notepad in his room.
Oh, ho, ho.
There's something I want to talk to you about. In 5 minutes, you can see me later. Check the notes to make sure you don't get the wrong group, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room. Huh? Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't. But
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
So, quite a signature.
Yeah, these are really fortunate.
Then that note, Sayaka wrote it?
but why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me!
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say?
Sure.
No, actually.
Very well then. Pay attention. Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in. So in other words, even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in. So in other words, even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a little. Calm down, Makoto.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct?
No.
But in the note,
It's
the
going
place
after
they were
this.
asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying.
No, it's wrong! The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Nope.
Right?
No Burumi.
Okay, then who did it?
He kind of sweating though.
Yeah. There's only one person who could have switched the nameplates. The only other person who knew they had switched the rooms. Sayaka. Oh no, we're running out of time.
I got it!
Could be anyone.
Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates is Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note. She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her. We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
Okay.
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
The reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with the fake sword is because when you look at the rest, there's no doubt.
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen, there's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
Yeah, pink blood.
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
Okay.
What happened in my room?
Sayaka got murdered.
Back to Sayaka's death. That's what we need to make clear.
Oh, there's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Want to hear it? I was just kidding. Are you getting used to these non-stop debates? Starting with the next debate, I'll start loading multiple truth bullets into your truth cylinder. But just like the weak spots, only one of these bullets will actually refute the proper statement. In other words, from here on out, you'll have to combine the right truth bullets and the right weak spots to refute each statement. If you come up with the wrong combination, you'll take damage to your influence gauge. And do you know what? Okay. You can press the Q key to rotate the cylinder and choose which bullet to fire. Press and release the Q key to cycle through each bullet. Really? Or use the mouse wheel.
I'm gonna use the mouse wheel.
By the way, if the logic difficulty is set to kind, fewer bullets will be loaded into the chamber. The cylinder. For our purpose this time, the logic difficulty will be set to mean. Well then, do I have a... Oh shit, they're bringing all of them.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack!
And that's what broke Miss Maizono's wrist.
So, she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away. But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened. When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack!
Shoot that shit!
No, that's wrong!
Objection! Break!
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Yep, I can totally see it from here.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead! Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you are going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
Speaking of someone having a bulky and useless...
Hold on. Let's keep that there.
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it! So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself, but then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
A part of her body that shows she never used the sword.
I got it!
I'll use my stomach to guard
You're
it.
talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why did you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
Oh, yeah.
We're finally here. I can say it now. Say it now.
No, that's not it at all.
There's no way Sayaka watched the gold coating with her hands because she's talking about what happened. She's afraid of water.
This is definitely afraid of water.
I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
I can't. She has a history. I can kind of feel bad.
Oh my.
But yeah, it's also fine.
You're no different! You smell like a big fat ugly donkey!
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
An insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
Yeah, we did. We already said that.
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
It's like that one point in Guardians of the Galaxy. I know it sounds bad.
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
I feel like that should be a screenshot be presented with that context.
Yeah, let me get that. Bro, she wasn't into you. Yeah, got it. Damn.
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
Mondo's finally caught up.
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
Just hold on!
So I
That
guess
can't
everyone
be
makes
true!
it out alive? Is Leon the Blackened? He can't be now.
Because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument! You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it! Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Is it really all over? Obviously, I'm committed to finding out who killed her, but what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing left.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Very well. Then let's review all the clues we found up to this point one more time.
Do we really have time for all that?
Die! Die! If we don't do something, we're all gonna die!
That's it, shoot it.
There's still one clue left, I'm sure. Sayaka left it on the wall. She's in it next.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
No, that's wrong!
Objection!
There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
Dining message.
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
There's no question that Sayaka wrote that message. I can prove it.
It's on her hand.
Her left index finger.
I got it! Her left
broken,
index finger had blood on it.
so she could have moved it.
That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to
Here
write.
it comes. Here it comes.
Sure, I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still, what the heck do those numbers mean? 11037?
It's not like
It could be
we're
anything.
students who can't read English.
Yeah, I'll give it to them for that one. I got it.
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
I know in the next game there will be a similar question that will be asked, and then people are like, oh, that question was an English word asked in Japanese. No.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh! Yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What?
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Just say
You're
N.
right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1, but... Looking at it now, you could also read it
Ooh,
as
that
an
needs to be
N.
bumping.
Whoa. You might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
But even if that really is an N, N037 doesn't make any more sense than before.
Damn it, it's no use. I just don't know.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Hell yeah, cute.
Enhance image.
Enhance. Huh? Rotate it? I think maybe I see something.
Oh my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Huh? You just shot past the clue part and right onto who did it. So, whose name did she write?
Scientist telling message reveals the real killer's name. Killer message 180 degrees. It should become crystal clear.
But that doesn't. Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
But hold on. But those letters don't spell the word knife.
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees.
Yeah, we did all this shit for no reason.
If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N.
Oh, this is actually how I got the name of my first.
L-E-O-N, or more accurately, Leon.
Leon?
Sir Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that
I mean, really, she could have written anybody's name.
This is the freak out time.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
His red hair.
Pull that shit out.
Evidence that Leon tried to get rid of. That thing I found on the ground trying to incinerator, right? Oh.
Yeah. Sleeves in the glass ball. But can you still see?
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Who could have made that shot from 30 feet away?
I mean, first
Are you
thing
finally
you know
starting to
that you had
understand?
to do in the first
The answers to all the riddles are right
You
here.
got to get to that part next. Then we do the other one.
Yeah, I think so.
I bet dollars to film. Where it was disposed of. Really clear. Like so clear. Do you have like a how? Yeah, let's do that.
I got it! Look closely at how the shirt was disposed of. We should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Yeah, when the dialogue cuts out, you know.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right?
How would you know that?
Hey, whoa, what are you saying that so fast?
You know that?
And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either.
Damn, this guy's...
You need the key to get in, and the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty.
No, wait, hold on, but what are you saying this?
So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Interesting.
And then he's like, wait, that's me!
No, that's wrong. There's another way to use the incinerator without being the one on TV. Not exactly what proves that Leon is the real killer. Yep. He's literally the only one who could have made this job.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator in order to destroy the evidence. Which means the only possible suspect is whoever had the trash room key.
Okay, so the person who would have had the trash room key was... Huh? Me? No!
I wish you would too. Alright.
Actually, was already used to incinerator without using the trash. The killer was able to turn the incinerator on by using the condom again.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator.
Yo, this is kind of bumping. Let's keep it going.
Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
You get a really long stick.
Yes, you could. If you used this.
Yo, that stick's kind of long.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but,
But how would you use it?
The killer had to use a glass ball to win, which was different with it.
I got it! The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
But you're not reading this.
Hifumi had the key, so the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they got the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right? The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
That's right! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is...
You don't have much of a challenge at all for the killer, because...
He is the ultimate clairvoyant.
Ultimate fanfic creator.
I got it! Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer! These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
Damn.
You still won't admit
What's my
it?
favorite phrase?
Okay then. Makoto, go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear. And with that, we can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Say what you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered. And the truth has been revealed.
You have an evil twin.
Now here's what happened.
Oh shit, we got Oh shit, the closing argument's about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Every case has one last element to bring the class trial to the end, and that's the closing argument. In this phase, you'll give a complete summary of the case.
You'll get to make a comic book after this.
And you'll have to reproduce the flows of the events in the form of a comic book. However, you'll notice in the comic book there are numbers of pieces. Numbers of pieces missing. It's up to you to complete the comic using the provided truth panels. Trademark. Also, if you aim at the missing section and press the left mouse button, holy cow, you get a hint that might lead to a breakthrough. Well then, good luck, have fun.
GLHF.
Closing arguments, ultimate climax has begun. Oh shit. Watch how I only got like 20 minutes. Yeah, Psycho. To make a comic book. Go back with that one. I think it needs to go to the. Let's go back. Okay, so here we go. So he tries to go at them with the thing. Who does that hit? Oh no. So when she's lunging at him, go to the next page before that one. Yeah. No. Go back the other way. Remove that knife part there, and then put the sword behind him in that part. Yeah, so take that one out and then put the sword behind him. you're like, the sword is behind me, and then you can take the sword. Or, oh no, actually I put that there. Like whatever is happening here, that's when he. Did I tell you everything right? Cause yeah, it looks like. Yeah, so she. That's what it looks like.
The killer is you! I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning. Last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. In other words, my room. From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them. She attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier. But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for. They grabbed the fake sword I put in my room and fought back. During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist. And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom. The killer went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily, and there was a trick to opening it. Sayaka knew about that because I told her, but of course the killer had no way of knowing. So instead, the killer forced the door open, took the kitchen knife, and stabbed Sayaka. But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message. To keep the killer from noticing, she wrote it on the wall behind her. And with that, all her strength was gone. With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area. They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there, but the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate, preventing access to the incinerator. So they came up with a plan to use Hiro's crystal ball, which he'd left in the laundry room. The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch. For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw, but the killer had the confidence to take a shot. And that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star. The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator.
It sounded exactly like a pottery vase.
Which then quickly roared to life. Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief.
I was going to have the culprit be like,
But there was one thing they missed. Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence. Isn't that right, Leon?
Complete.
It would appear that Hiro simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt, and that's where you saw it, right? Seeing the ball, you thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
Do I object? Hell yes, I object! Of course I do! I object! I object! I object!
Yeah, I need to make that. I think that's screenshot real fast. I need to take two of them. One for the whole. Yeah.
I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories! You need evidence! Where's the evidence? Without evidence, it's all bullshit! It's bullshit and I refuse to acknowledge it!
Bullshit, 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 bullshit!
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it.
everyone has like a freaked out cat.
Makoto, I believe you're in possession of that evidence.
There's one more piece.
Have the evidence?
Your first bullet time battle is about to begin. Would you like to hear it? I was actually insane.
Christ.
Sometimes during a class trial, the opponent will simply don't want to hear what you have to say.
So it turns into a rhythm game.
Then, when this happens, you'll engage in a head-to-head battle. I mean, does it matter what they say?
It's pretty shit.
Everybody else. Oh, we'd all like to refer to this as a bullet time battle, aka the BTB BTW. During the BTB, you want to destroy your opponent's statements in time with the rhythm. Oh wow.
It's a rhythm game now.
Match your button presses with each tempo marker as they move across the screen and reach the center. Press the right mouse button to lock on to the opponent's statement. Destroy the statement that you've locked on with the left mouse button as the tempo marker reaches the center.
Yeah.
Use this method to deal damage to your opponent. If you can't pull it off, you'll be the one in pain.
I feel like
Do this consecutively, and you'll start a combo. Keep this going, and you'll initiate a tempo up. On the flip side, if you keep missing, you'll get a tempo down situation. Oh no! When the tempo changes, so does the timing for hitting each button.
Well, this time I have a proper mouse instead of a freaking trackpad, so this might be easier.
So watch out for that. Deal enough damage to your opponent, and their weak spot statement will appear. At that point, you press the left mouse button and shoot down to the truth bullet like any other statement. Defeat their statement fast enough and you become victorious. It is just like before. If your influence gauge reaches 0, you run out of time. You fail. Or if you fail. You know what I mean. Well, good luck, have fun.
When the killer removed the screws from the doorknob, they didn't use anything from your room to do it. Instead, they must have used something that belonged to them.
I refuse to acknowledge you! You're stupid! Stupid, stupid, stupid! Stupid, 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 stupid!
Damn, man. Oh shit, hold up. Let it keep spinning. I need to get one of these upside down. I hope you figure it out, dude. Are you ready to slap them beat?
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Stupid! You lie! Stop talking! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! You lie! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Stupid! You lie! Stop talking!
Tempo down. Final
Where's
strike!
your proof?
This should prove it.
Great.
The screws on the bathroom doorknob were removed. I wonder what kind of tool the killer used to remove them.
I mean, it had to be a screwdriver, right?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the toolkits we got each had one inside.
That must be what he used. There aren't any other tools anywhere.
But the toolkit in my room had clearly never been used.
That's because the culprit didn't know it was your room. They thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be one in there.
Okay, then whose toolkit did the killer use?
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Leon, would you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this, then the screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
Huh? And if you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Stupid!
What if he did lose it?
Stupid!
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
Byakuya finds you in the bathroom crying and tells you to shut the fuck up.
Stop saying stupid. You kind of get.
Oh.
Bad.
Hey.
You got an A, which is pretty bad because it's not.
Oh. Wait,
Oh, you get coins for that shit, huh? Okay.
I call them nice coins because it just says nice when they pop up.
Looks like you've reached your verdict. Then are we ready to cast our votes? You all have a lever in front of you. Use it to make your selection. Oh, just to remind you all, make triple sure you vote for someone. You wouldn't want to be punished for something so minor, right?
What if Sayaka and Junko don't vote?
Okay, then let's get excited!
Yeah, you have to.
Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
You don't have to vote physically in this game, but others.
I was about to say. I mean, stupid.
Uh-oh, it looks like you got it right on the money. The blackened in this case, the one that killed Sayaka, is none other than Leon Kuwata.
Huh?
Well, buddy.
Yeah.
I guess I'll see you later, homie.
Hey, hold on.
It was nice having you around, but... Yeah, sorry, buddy. Oh. Hold on a sec. Damn.
Leon, did you really?
Why are you asking? Why are you asking?
I don't believe it.
You son of a bitch!
You son of a bitch! What the hell's fucking wrong with you?
I didn't have a
this
choice.
was kind of self-defense, so I didn't have a choice. It was self-defense. It was kill or be killed.
So
I mean, it's not wrong.
That's why
I killed her first.
Yeah, especially when she hid in the
None of you are any different!
Yeah, I guess you could have left after that. None of you are any different. One wrong step, and you would be standing here.
No, she retreated, and you could have been like, hey,
Yeah.
that's awkward, but...
Yeah, and then run. It was a complete chance I wouldn't, that I would. It was a complete chance I wound up like this.
I was just unlucky.
I was just unlucky, that's all.
Hey, come on!
Hey, come on! You don't expect me to just accept my death? And then I get rich death.
I always like to call the first execution in the game is the example. Everything's
Homie gets strapped up to a thing and hit with a bunch of baseball.
The decision we made was right after. And when I think about that, honestly, I'd be better off if we'd been wrong. Because if what we came up with really is the truth, and that truth is that Sayaka was trying to frame me.
Yeah, she was an answer, my dude.
Even if that's true, I can't say she was wrong. After all, the mastermind. It's all because of that video. Yeah, it's their motive. Literally their motive. Even I couldn't handle what I saw in there. If I was her and the video actually had something to do with me, I can't even imagine. What? I'm not gonna read this.
Wait, what did she say?
The one thing that was more important to her than anything else. Her dreams, her friends. To have to see something like that happen to them. And Sayaka. It's my Sayaka for the friends that meant so much to her. I know I'm gonna read her dialogue because that means it's gonna be a flashback. That's why she betrayed me.
Well, listen, we gotta honor her last word. The memory of her last words.
Leon. So, when she said... oh my god.
No matter what happens, please always be there for me. I need you on my side.
Oh my god.
She was lying to me from the very beginning. She was using me. Is that why she talked to me in the first place? Yep. I guess I'll never. Yes, that's exactly why she talked to you in the first place. Because there's nothing I can do to ask her what she was thinking. Once you're dead, that's that. Boy, howdy! The entertainment industry must be terrifying, huh? Here, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this one. I have some friends I can send this to. I mean, to try and kill someone just because of those relationships.
Ba-bum, ba-bum.
She seemed so nice and lovely on the outside, but inside, she descended into pure madness. What did you say?
Phew!
I understand. I really do. Yep. You're in utter despair thanks to Sayaka's betrayal, right? Compassion, intimacy, love. The stronger those feelings, the stronger the despair when they collapse. Stop screwing with us. This is all your fault. Sayaka being forced to do something like that. All of it. Everything. It's all your fault. Suddenly, in a frenzy, I lunged over Kuma. But someone punched him in the face.
That's enough.
Kyoko, the voice of reason. As angry as I was, Kyoko latched onto my arm without hesitation. Her grip was like iron, strong enough, I was sure it would leave a bruise.
Calm down.
If you really want to make her enemies pay for what they've done, you need to let it go for now. Damn it!
Ba-bum, ba-bum.
Ah, that was a close one. I thought for sure you were gonna give me a good walloping. Just barely avoided punishment, you did.
Yes, indeed.
Now then, since you so magnificently revealed the identity of the killer during the class trial, the blackened Leon Kawada will receive his punishment.
Punishment? You mean execution?
I mean, yeah.
Wait a second!
Nope.
I didn't have a choice. I had to kill her.
Yeah, that's it.
I was just protecting myself in the heat of the moment. It was self-defense.
Is that okay?
How exactly does it self-defense? You forced to play into the matter, and that did not play on foot. After she shut herself in the back, you went out of your way to get back to your own room. And if you argue with us, welcome to the back. Am I wrong?
Do you understand?
You have any number of chances to stop what you were doing. But you chose not to. Is it not because you had an undecided instinct to commit murder?
So
Yeah, it sounds like you
that's
really
why.
wanted to. No, that's not.
Stop it. I've had enough of this.
Oh!
Yeah, dude.
Oh, are you sure? You were closer to her than anyone, were you not? He killed you to Sayaka. Do you understand? You have sent Leon a soul to win. Of course, I don't plan on bringing Sayaka either. Because the one to blame is him.
Huh?
So what? If it weren't for you, this never would have happened to Sayaka or Leon. You shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting against the one who put us in this situation. The mastermind.
Unbelievable.
Uh-oh. Did you awaken to your sense of justice?
Hey,
Well, it just so happens that there's nothing more unethical than an unwavering sense of justice. After all, it's the people with that sort of mentality that perpetuate war all over the world. Is that the kind of justice that's awakened within you? Shut up! Okay, well, anyway, more importantly...
Kills! Chills! Kills!
Hurry up and get to what everyone's been waiting for, the punishment.
I'm begging you! Please! Don't do this!
Well, we gotta be the example, Rebel pal.
Hey, come on now.
No more begging, no more excuses. business, you must pay the penalty for breaking the rules. Society demands it.
Stop! Please!
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment!
For Leon Guana, the ultimate baseball star.
No!
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Time to be the example, Leon.
No!
Leon has been found guilty. Time for punishment.
Well, I thought Monokuma was going to try to get the baseball from the ball. Oh, it is!
Yeah.
Anything else? Even Monokuma.
Yep. What we saw. Yeah, everyone's gonna freak out now. That was the true face of despair. I mean, if we can't call it that, what else could we call it?
Extreme!
Man, my adrenaline is pumping right out of control. Something like that. What's going on?
I can't take it.
I can't take this anymore. I really have to keep doing this. I just can't take it.
Well?
Well, hey, if you don't like it. All you gotta do is stare at all times with the outside world and accept living here forever. But that's only if every single one of you can get on board with that.
Damn you!
Man, fuck you! Why the fuck are you doing this evil shit?
What the heck?
Evil? You make it sound like I'm some dark, awful, secret society type of guy.
Say what?
Or in this case, dark, awful, secret society type of bear.
Well...
Why are you putting us through an upstanding citizen like me through this grueling old disorder? Shriek. Let me get this one real fast. Let me get this one real slow. I'm good.
Hey,
It seems like you're trying to use common sense to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. Alright, fucking Mad Hatter. That's like trying to put a mile on a scale. I just don't think it's possible.
I don't think you're saying what I think saying quite fit together.
Shit.
You piece of shit. You piece of fucking shit. I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna pound your ass into the ground with my fucking fist.
You must really hate me to get so angry, huh? But if you do that, you're barking way up the wrong tree. What happened because more than one of you decided you wanted to get out, right? No matter how much time passes, you can't cut free of your regrets from the outside world. You're to blame. Of course we can't cut free of the outside world. Being trapped in this same place. You're trapped, are you? Well, I'm sure once you learn all of the mysteries of this school, your thinking will change for sure. You'll think, boy, isn't it so wonderful how we all get to live here forever?
What does this mean?
What are you trying to say?
Hey,
Exactly what I'm saying. I feel like there's some deeper meaning hidden in there. Just like before.
Thrills! Chills! Kill!
hey,
You say everyone who exactly are you going to? Sorry, I said everything I've got to say. I need to save some of the fun for later. And just like that, he was gone. He got to stare overwhelmed by nightmare turned reality. Even after he was gone, we stood there forever, unable to move. Actually, no. It wasn't that long, I think. Everyone just lost their sense of time. We were all too scared. Scared of being alone. Poor guy.
Fuck.
No one even tried to speak. Their faces were stone, their voices dead. But it was in that moment, somebody farted.
just a second.
Makoto, can I talk to you for a second? She moved in close and whispered into my ear.
Makoto.
Before we head back, there's something I want to talk to you about. It's about Sayaka, isn't it? I'm surprised you figured it out.
Listen.
I told you before the class trial started. You had to figure out the mystery of this case yourself. You wanted me to realize how Sayaka betrayed me by myself, didn't you? The thought never even crossed my mind. I feel like such a fool, becoming such an easy target like that.
It's true.
Sayaka meant to double-cross you. That's a fact that you can never change. But even till the very end, she wasn't sure of her decision. That's why. As she lay dying, she was thinking of you. She was thinking of me?
And how much of a big group you were.
You can't just say something like that. I mean, there's no way you can know that. Only Sayaka would know for sure, and we can't ask her now.
However,
even if you can't ask her, you can infer it, don't you think? Her final thought was how she could protect you. What?
So...
The fact that she used her last ounce of energy to leave her dying message proves it. If she didn't care what happened to you, she never would have left that message. Well, maybe she just wanted to get back at the person who had killed her.
certainly.
That's certainly one possibility. But I don't think that's what it was.
Anyway...
She was uncertain. She wasn't sure she could kill someone or deceive you. Which is why her plan failed. Her hesitation attracted failure.
Right.
It's almost ironic when you think about it. It's like rain on your wedding day. Why are you telling me all this? Because you're the kind of person who can overcome this. Although rain on your wedding day isn't ironic, it's just like a metaphor, I think. Because you can move past the deaths of your friends, Sayaka and Leon, and keep moving forward. We weren't really friends with Leon.
Correct.
Without someone like that, the others would never be able to break free of such a desperate situation. Move past their deaths? You can never do that. Next chapter. We got 6 chapters of this, buddy. No. I'm going to carry them with me the rest of my life. How could I possibly move past something like that? Leon, Sayaka, I'll carry them with me forever. I'll carry their memories with me wherever I go. So instead of forgetting them, we're choosing the hard road. Well, I have high expectations for you. As she said that, she revealed a small smile.
Hey.
By the way, I have to admit, I'm curious. How did you know I wanted to talk to you about Sayaka? Oh, well... I'm psychic.
What?
Huh? Kidding. I just have pretty good intuition.
Alright, time for the ending theme.
Down to 12. To be continued. The despair bat. Okay, we're done here. Oh, no. We're done here. Okay. Okay. We're done here. Okay. Done.
Alright, well, that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now I need to know what happened. Why are they going through this shit?
Exactly.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, thanks for swinging by.
Yeah. Bye.
Good luck, have fun.
GLHF.